Hello friends, today's topic of discussion is time value of money. Topics to be covered are meaning of time value of money, reasons of preference to receive money today, valuation technique, present value for perpetuity, future value and present value of an annuity due, perpetuity growing at a constant rate, present value of an annuity growing at a constant rate, calculation of doubling period. These topics are covered in two parts. In the first video, we will cover up to first valuation technique, that is compounding technique, and rest of the topics we will cover in the next part. Fine. Do we mean by time value of money? See, when we invest in a project, the cash outflows and inflows occur at different period of time. So it becomes very difficult to compare the cash flows occurring at different period of time. With the help of time value of money, we convert cash flows either in present value or in future value to make the cash flows comparable. Fine. Now, what time value of money concept says? According to time value of money concept, value of money received at different point of time is different. For example, if I receive 10,000 rupees today and 10,000 rupees after 2 years, then amount of I am receiving today and after 2 years is same, that is 10,000, but the value of money received today will be more than the value of money received after 2 years. Now a question arises in our mind, that why does it happen? This happen because every person has a preference to choose money today than at a later date. For example, if you will ask to someone to take 5,000 rupees today or after a month, then obviously he will choose to have money today only. Fine. And why there is a preference to choose money today? There are certain reasons of preference to choose money today that we are going to discuss in the next slide. What are the reasons of preference to receive money today? First is inflation, second is future uncertainties, third is personal preference for present consumption, last is investment opportunity. So let us discuss this one by one. First is inflation. What is the symbolic meaning of inflation? Inflation means a general rise in prices. Fine. It is a sustained increase in general price level of goods and services in an economy over a period of time. When the general price level rises, each unit of currency buys fewer goods and services. Consequently, inflation reflects a reduction in the purchasing power. For example, suppose a consumer durable is presently available for 10,000, but after a year it may cost rupees 11,000 because of inflation. That is why a person wants to buy this product now with less money and enjoy its benefit. Fine. Next is future uncertainties. As we all know that future is uncertain and risk is always attached in future payment because of chances of debtors insolvency, enemies happening, change in external environment, etc. Therefore money received today is always preferable. Fine. Next is personal preference for present consumption. In the last slide I have given an example in which a person chooses to have rupees 5,000 today, not after a month. This is because of every person has a personal preference for present consumption, which he can manage only when he has a money today. Fine. Last is investment opportunity. Investment opportunity. Again, I'm taking the same example. If an individual will have 5,000 today, then he can invest the amount in any good opportunity, any good investment opportunity available, and can earn interest on the same. Fine. So because of these reasons, there is a preference to receive money today. Next topic is valuation technique. That means what are the techniques that we use in time value of money? First is compounding and second is discounting. In the compounding technique, we convert present value in the future value, and in the discounting technique, we convert future value in the present value. So let us learn about these two techniques in detail. Our first technique is compounding technique. As I have already told that in compounding technique, we calculate future value from the present value. According to this technique, interest earned on the initial cash flow becomes part of the principal for calculating interest for the next period. I repeat, interest earned on the initial cash flow becomes part of the principal for calculating interest for the next period. What does that mean? This means that interest earned in the first period will be added in the principal amount for calculating interest for the next year. For example, in if first year interest is 1,000 on the principal amount of rupees 10,000, then for calculating next year's interest, our principal amount will be 10,000 plus 1,000. That means we will calculate next year's interest on the principal amount of rupees 11,000. So this interest earned on interest, that means interest earned on 1,000 in the above example, is known as compounding effect. Fine. I hope this is clear. So next is this technique can be explained in the following situations. That first is when there is only single present cash flow. Fine. Next is when there is a series of unequal cash flows over a period of time. Next is when there is a series of equal cash flows over a period of time. And last is when compounding is done more than once in a year. Fine. So let us learn how future value is calculated in these different situations one by one. First situation in compounding technique is future value of a single present cash flow. That means when there is only one cash flow. So the formula of compounding interest can be used for calculating future value of a single present cash flow, and the formula is future value is equal to present value 1 plus r is to the power n, where r is equal to rate of interest and n is number of period. 1 plus r represents the compounding value for given values of r and n. To make you understand better, I have quoted an example, that is Mr. Verma invested 10,000 at the beginning of the year 1 at the rate of 10% compounded annually. What amount of money he will receive after the end of second year? So we have the formula for calculating future value is present value 1 plus r is to the power n. In this example, we have present value 10,000 rupees and which we have invested at the beginning of the year, and rate of interest is 10% and number of years are 2 years. So we will put these values in the formula and we will get our required future value. Fine. Next situation in compounding technique is when there is a series of unequal cash flows over a period of time. It is given in the example that Mr. X invested 10,000, 5,000, and 2,000 at the starting of first, second, and third year. Here the amount invested are unequal as well as invested at different period of time. So this is the example of series of unequal cash flows. In this situation, we have to do nothing new. We will be using the same formula which we have used in the earlier situation, that is future value is equal to present value 1 plus r is to the power n. So what we will do, by using the future value formula, we will calculate the future value of each installment separately, and we will add all the future values of each installment to get the required compounded value found. In this example, Mr. X invested 10,000 at the beginning of first year, that is he has invested the money for 3 years. So our n will be 3 year for the first installment. Similarly, he has invested 5,000 at the beginning of second year, that is he has invested the money for 2 years. So our n will be 2 years in the second installment, and so on. In the last, we will add all the future values of each installment and we will get the required future value, that is 21,560. Next is when there is a series of equal cash flows over a period of time. Here new concept comes to understand, that is annuity. What do we mean by annuity? When there is a series of equal cash flows occurring over a period of equal time intervals, this is known as annuity. Here two conditions are necessary for the cash flows to be an annuity. First is there should be equal cash flows, and second is there should be equal time intervals. For example, Mr. X invested an amount of 10,000 each at the end of first, second, and third year. Here he has invested equal amount, that is 10,000 in the each year, and he has invested the money in the consecutive years, that is first, second, and third year. So this is all about annuity. And for calculating future value of annuity, we have the formula future value of annuity is equal to a multiplied by 1 plus r is to the power n minus 1 divided by r, where a is annuity amount. Let us understand this with the help of an example. So we have taken the same example, that is Mr. X has invested an amount of 10,000 each at the end of first, second, and third year. Calculate the compound value of his investment at the end of third year if interest is provided at the rate of 10% compounded annually. So for calculating future value of annuity, we have the formula annuity amount multiplied by 1 plus r is to the power n minus 1 whole divided by r. So in this example, we have annuity amount 10,000, rate of interest is 10%, and number of years are 3 years. We will put these values in the formula and we will get our required future value of annuity, that is 33,100. Fine. Next is future value of a cash flow when compounding is done more than once in a year. In the earlier situation, we have calculated future value when compounding is done once in a year. But how we will calculate when compounding will be done more than once in a year? That may be semi-annually, that means twice in a year, quarterly, four times in a year, or maybe monthly. In this case, formula will be the same as that of future value of cash flow, that is present value 1 plus r is to the power n, but the values of r and n will get changed. How? When compounding is done semi-annually, then we will divide the rate of interest by 2 and will multiply the number of years by 2. When compounding is done quarterly, then we will divide the rate of interest by 4 and will multiply the number of years by 4. Similarly, when compounding is done monthly, then we will divide the rate of interest by 12 and we will multiply the number of years by 12. So let's take an example to make it more clear. X invested 10,000 rupees now for 3 years at the interest rate of 12% per annum compounded quarterly. Find the amount he will get after 3 years. So it is given in the question that he has invested 10,000 rupees. So our principal amount will be 10,000, and R, that is effective rate of return, is given 12%, but it is given in the question that compounding is done quarterly. So our effective rate of interest per quarter will be 12 divided by 4, that is 3%, and number of years are given 3 years, but we have to calculate number of quarters. So number of quarters will be 3 multiplied by 4, that is 12. So we will put these values in the formula and we will get the required future value, that is 14,260. Remaining topics we will discuss in the second part. So stay tuned.